Tonight, we are investigating the trajectory of a phenomenon that redefined the landscape of classical music and reality television. It has been 3 years since a 13-year-old boy stood on the stage of Britain's Got Talent and delivered a performance so transcendent that it seemed to bridge the gap between the terrestrial and the divine. Malakai Bayoh did more than just sing. He sparked a global conversation about the nature of raw, unfiltered talent. From the very first note of Pi Jesu, the atmosphere within the auditorium underwent a palpable shift, silencing even the most cynical critics and reducing the notoriously stoic Simon Cowell to a state of visible emotional vulnerability. But as we look back from the vantage point of 2026, the question remains, was this a fleeting moment of television magic, or the arrival of a permanent musical titan? The headlines today are no longer just about that golden buzzer. They are about a young man who has had to navigate the treacherous waters of international fame, puberty-induced vocal transitions, and the relentless scrutiny of a digital age that often seeks to tear down what it once celebrated. Behind the curtain of his success lies a complex narrative of resilience that began long before he ever stepped foot in front of a camera. The world saw the glory, but few truly understood the psychological weight of being a child prodigy in an industry that rarely offers a safety net. As we peel back the layers of Malakai's journey, we find a story that is as much about the strength of the human spirit as it is about the beauty of the human voice, setting the stage for one of the most remarkable career evolutions in modern history. Long before the bright lights of the BGT stage, Malakai Bayoh found himself at the center of a national scandal that ignited a fierce debate over etiquette and the protection of young performers. In a shocking breach of decorum at the Royal Opera House, Malakai was subjected to audible heckling during a performance of Handel's Alcina. For a child of just 12 years old to face such public hostility from an adult in the audience was unprecedented, and to many, utterly disgusting. The incident sent shockwaves through the classical community, resulting in a lifetime ban for the individual responsible. However, the true story isn't just the attack itself, but how Malakai chose to respond. Rather than retreating into the shadows or allowing the negativity to stifle his passion, he used the experience as a forge. This resilience is what insiders suggest gave him the iron nerves required to face millions of viewers just months later. News outlets at the time were captivated by his poise, but behind closed doors, the pressure was mounting. This wasn't just about singing. It was about a young boy being forced to grow up in the middle of a media firestorm. It raised serious questions about the vulnerability of child stars in high-pressure environments. Yet, Malakai's ability to remain focused on his craft during such a controversial period was the first indicator that he wasn't just a singer. He was a professional who could weather any storm. This early confrontation with the darker side of fame served as a precursor to the massive media explosion that would follow his television debut, proving that he had the internal fortitude to handle the massive expectations that were about to be placed on his young shoulders. When Simon Cowell pressed the golden buzzer for Malakai, he didn't just guarantee him a spot in the finals. He launched a commercial juggernaut that would dominate the airwaves for years to come. The immediate aftermath was a whirlwind of international press, late-night talk show appearances, and a recording contract that many veteran artists would spend a lifetime chasing. However, as our investigation reveals, the transition from viral sensation to established artist was fraught with hidden challenges. The industry began to buzz with speculation. Could a boy soprano truly maintain a career once the novelty of his age wore off? Internal reports from the time suggest that his team was working overtime to curate an image that would survive the inevitable vocal changes that come with adolescence. While the public saw a series of high-profile successes, including his chart-topping debut album, there was an underlying tension regarding his longevity. Rumors of exhaustion and creative differences began to surface in tabloid circles, though they were largely overshadowed by his undeniable talent. This period was a masterclass in YouTube automation and media management, as his digital presence was carefully tuned to keep the momentum alive. Every move was calculated to ensure he remained the face of modern classical music. But as he reached the pinnacle of his early fame, a new set of whispers began to circulate, whispers that suggested the angelic voice was facing its greatest test yet. The world was watching his every move, waiting to see if he would stumble under the weight of his own golden reputation, or if he would find a way to reinvent himself for a more mature audience in 2026. As we entered late 2025 and the early months of 2026, the narrative surrounding Malakai Bayoh took a mysterious turn. For a period of several months, the normally prolific star seemed to vanish from the public eye, leading to a surge in online speculation and shocking headlines. Rumors began to swirl across social media platforms, with some claiming he had suffered a career-ending vocal injury, while others suggested he had walked away from the industry entirely due to personal burnout. These speculations were intensified by a series of cryptic social media posts and the cancellation of several high-profile appearances. In the world of YouTube and digital media, this vacuum of information was filled by increasingly sensationalized reports. Our sources indicate that this period of disappearance was actually a strategic hiatus designed to allow Malakai the space to navigate the natural physical changes to his voice without the constant glare of the spotlight. It was a high-stakes gamble. In the fast-paced world of modern entertainment, being out of sight often means being out of mind. Yet, the mystery only seemed to increase his market value. Fans were left questioning if the Malakai they knew would ever return. This period of silence was not a sign of defeat, but rather a transition. It was during this time that he was reportedly working with top-tier vocal coaches to bridge the gap between his boy soprano roots and his new, maturing baritone range. The speculation served as a powerful marketing tool, albeit an unintentional one, ensuring that when he finally did resurface, the world would be more invested in his story than ever before. It was a pivotal moment that would define whether he remained a child star or emerged as a legendary adult performer. While the world was focused on his singing, Malakai was quietly building a resume that extended far beyond the concert hall. His involvement in the Hollywood blockbuster Maestro was a turning point that many overlooked. It wasn't just a soundtrack contribution. It was a validation of his artistry by the highest echelons of the film industry. Working alongside A-list directors and actors, Malakai demonstrated a level of professionalism that shocked his older peers. This Hollywood connection provided him with a shield against the typical pitfalls of reality TV fame. It repositioned him not just as a contestant, but as a legitimate artist capable of contributing to world-class cinema. This transition into film was a masterstroke of career management, allowing him to maintain relevance even during his vocal transition period. Reports from the set described him as focused and unfazed by the scale of the production, further cementing his reputation as a prodigy who possessed a maturity far beyond his years. This period also saw him navigating complex legal and contractual accusations as rival agencies vied for his representation, a common occurrence for stars of his magnitude. The sheer scale of his success in the U.S. market in particular was unprecedented for a UK-based classical singer of his age. By 2026, he had become a bridge between the traditional world of opera and the modern world of Hollywood entertainment. This dual identity allowed him to tap into multiple demographics, ensuring his brand remained robust and profitable regardless of the shifting trends in the music industry. He had effectively exposed the limitations of being just a reality star and proved that he was a multidimensional talent with a long-term future in the global spotlight. As we conclude this special report, the evidence suggests that Malakai Bayoh has successfully navigated one of the most difficult career paths in the entertainment industry. From the shameful heckling at the Royal Opera House to the golden heights of Britain's Got Talent and his subsequent Hollywood success, His journey is a testament to the power of resilience. In 2026, he stands as a symbol of hope for a new generation of performers, proving that it is possible to survive the chaos of early fame and emerge with your integrity and talent intact. While the rumors and controversies will likely continue to follow him, as they do all great icons, the core of his story remains his unmatched vocal gift. He has effectively transitioned from the boy with the angelic voice to a mature powerhouse who is ready to lead the classical world into the future. The shocking truth about Malakai is that there was no tragedy. There was only a meticulously managed evolution of a once-in-a-century talent. As he prepares for his next world tour, the anticipation is at an all-time high, with ticket sales breaking records across multiple continents. He has silenced the doubters and exposed the fragility of those who predicted his downfall. Malakai Bayoh didn't just win a competition, he won the long game. His story serves as a reminder that true talent, when paired with unyielding strength, can overcome any obstacle, whether it's a heckler in the balcony or the natural passage of time. The world is no longer just watching a child, it is witnessing the reign of a king in the making. And as he takes the stage once more, the only question left is, how far can this golden voice truly go? One thing is certain, the crowd will always be on its feet,